We're 9 weeks into the NFL season, and the Packers sit at 3-6 after losing 5 straight games. Their chances of making the playoffs are extremely thin. What do we want the Packers to do? Or what should we expect them to do the rest of the season? Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Packer Mentality Podcast. My name is Patrick Corrigan, and I'm your host. You can find and follow me on Twitter at Packer Mentality. You can find my podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. If you are watching me on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button below. Helps my channel out. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. First, let's update some of the injuries from Sunday. And we'll start with the bad news. If you haven't heard, Rashawn Gary suffered a torn ACL and is done for the year. Eric Stokes also suffered a lower leg injury, but we don't know yet how serious that is. We'll probably find out on Wednesday. Romeo Doubs has a high ankle sprain and should miss at least 4 to 6 weeks. But not all the injury news was terrible coming out of Sunday. Aaron Jones did suffer an ankle injury during the game, but tests showed no damage. He actually wanted to come back in the game, but the staff held him out. Staff also held out Christian Watson. Took a hard hit, and it was feared that he had suffered another concussion, but after testing, he did not suffer concussion, but the staff did hold him out of sheer caution because he had suffered a concussion the week before. I don't blame them. First off, the Packers are not officially eliminated from playoff contention, and this organization and coaching staff can and should have the mindset that they can go 7-1 or 6-2 the rest of the way to make the playoffs. Doesn't matter what we think. But with the way they've been playing, between you and me, I expect that window to close very quickly. I haven't seen any signs of them being able to play well enough to win that many games. They've just been terrible, and I haven't seen anything that disproves that. The offense has been bad all season. What should they do? Despite all the venom and vitriol that has been thrown at Aaron Rodgers since the game ended, don't expect them to bench him for Jordan Love anytime soon. Green Bay will trot out the players that they believe give them the best chance to win, and that is Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. However, the minute they get eliminated, they have to give Jordan Love the reins to the offense for the rest of the season, however many games that is. Green Bay needs to know what he can or can't do, and they need to show the rest of the league what he can do. The Packers can't release Aaron Rodgers because of his contract, so their options are either keep him and play him for the next 2 years probably, or trade him. Now, if the Packers decide with Rodgers that he's staying, I expect them to trade Jordan Love this offseason. If Rodgers wants to play somewhere else, I think the Packers can definitely find a couple teams that would make that trade, or trade for Jordan Love. Indianapolis, with their debacle at quarterback this season. Washington, I think, will be looking for a quarterback. Maybe a few others, but that's a video for the offseason. The weapons Rodgers has to work with continue to diminish. Randall Cobb's still out. Not sure when he's coming back, probably soon. And now Romeo Doubs is going to miss at least 4 weeks, I would say. Bright side that we saw on Sunday was Samori Toure. He was the second best receiver on the field for either team, behind Al Lazard. He could have had a huge day. He could have had at least 2 touchdown catches if Aaron Rodgers could find him or deliver the ball to him. Sammy Watkins is, well, I'll put it nicely. He's not the guy that he was his rookie year. And as far as a free agent signing to help fill the void left by the departures of several guys that we will not name at this point, he's been very disappointing. I'd say release him, but I don't think they have enough healthy bodies. As long as Christian Watson and Samari Torrey are healthy, though, I think they need to be on the field with Allen Lazard and possibly Randall Cobb when he comes back to make Aaron Rodgers happy. I don't know what to say about the running back group and how much they're getting used. It's clear that Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers have been incapable this season of consistently getting it correct. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, and now Kylan Hill's back. Good to see him. They've been severely misused. Aside from figuring out if David Bakhtiari and Elton Jenkins can get healthy and stay healthy, I expect the offensive line to be adjusted only in ways to get the best group on the field, regardless of who is lining up behind them. So, barring injuries, I expect only major changes or adjustments to account for that. On to the defense. They are going to have to overcome some key injuries. Losing Rashawn Gary really hurts, but it will give the rookie Kingsley Enagbari more time on the field. I think he's looked pretty good in his limited snaps. It'll give him a chance to develop some more and possibly give them more options for next season. But I don't think there is anything else or anyone else behind Kingsley in that group that brings anything to the table. Depth is a serious concern. Quality depth is just not there. Elsewhere on the defensive line, Dean Lowry and Jarran Reed have been subpar to bad and honestly, I don't think either guy is going to be on the team next year. That being the case, you have a first-round draft pick. Devontae Wyatt had some good reps on Sunday. He needs to get more reps. Reed and Lowry need to get less reps. I don't think he can play any worse than those two, especially rushing the passer and playing the run. Those guys are non-existent. At linebacker, Isaiah McDuffie graded fairly well with his play on Sunday and actually did a nice job against the run. One of the few guys that did. He needs to be on the field more, even when Devondre Campbell returns. Quay Walker, he might benefit from seeing someone else do it correctly out there. Sometimes sitting down and watching other guys do it can be a benefit to these young guys. We don't know the extent of Eric Stokes' injury, but let's assume that even if he does miss the rest of the season, he will miss at least a few weeks. With him out, Rasul Douglas will get to move full-time to his best position on the outside. Honestly, that's going to be an upgrade. He's been the second best corner on the team. Stokes has not played well this season. I like the attitude, the intensity, the aggressiveness that Douglas brings to this team. He and Jair Alexander, probably the only two guys on this defense, I think, that bring that. Wish the rest of the team was doing that. The question will be on the defense, who's going to move into the slot? Keyshawn Nixon has put in some work there. He's been okay, but considering how poorly Darnell Savage is playing at safety, I'd like to see Darnell get some time in the slot. Rudy Ford is a better safety right now, and Darnell's contract is going to be coming up, and if he can't play in the slot, I don't see a place for him on this team. So let's give him a shot. Mike McCarthy brings the 6-2 Cowboys to town on Sunday to start a very tough stretch of games for the Packers. I will preview that matchup on Thursday, and we will hope the Packers team we expected this season to finally show up. Until then, have a great week, be safe, be good to one another, and go Pack Go.